Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Papaw's place. Guys, we're looking at the garden this morning. And I'm going to show y'all up close. These tomatoes are loaded down this year. Yeah, they are. So let's just come on over here and show y'all some of these big tomatoes. And one of the new ones I tried this year, we ate last night. Actually, the first one come off a few days ago, but I don't never judge a tomato on the first one. But last night, we eat two of them. And I'm thinking it's going to be a pretty good tomato that's probably going to stay around in my garden. But we're going to start out first here with one of my all-time favorites for the last 4 years is a Honey Delight. And I got these seeds from Burpee. This is an indeterminate, and this fella right here, it'll grow. And when we get into about the July and August, I start trimming all this off. And it just keeps producing tomatoes right up to the end of the year when the first frost gets it. The Honey Delight is a little yellow tomato, and that's about the average size of them, so they small. About the old-time silver dollar size, not these new silver dollars. Back in the old days, silver dollars was bigger around. In case some of you young folks didn't know that. But that's just a good eating tomato. It ain't so much like them yellow tomatoes because it has a little acidy taste to it, to where a lot of your yellow tomatoes, or a lot of yellow tomatoes that people that I know say they like a yellow tomato, they like it because they don't like the acidity in it. But this one here has a little bit of the acidity in it, and it's just a good tasting tomato. Got that sweetness comes out in it. You get that little bit of that acidity like in a lemon. And I ain't meaning sour like a lemon. I'm using lemon as the acidity part. Good breakfast, ain't it? And I'm gonna get y'all up here close and show y'all. Hope I can show you. I know these cameras don't always show them. The little ones is coming on up top. And these I've been picking 2 or 3 a day for the last week. But it's just clusters and clusters and clusters on this thing everywhere. Now the next 2 tomato plants we're looking at here is the new one I'm trying this year for the first time, the Cherokee Carbon. You can see it's got that old purple look like the Cherokee tomatoes, but I can tell you right now, this one grows easier and it's loaded down. Now, it still does not produce a perfect round tomato, which I don't care about, because these last night is the closest tasting thing to a Cherokee that I've ever eaten. This is the new Cherokee Carbon. I got these seeds from Hossinator. Probably gonna have a bacon tomato sandwich tonight out of this one. And this one. And you can see where they get their Cherokee from is the color and the shape. They don't make pretty tomatoes. A lot of times they be cracked up. Now some of these others up here may get to looking better now that the rain is slowing down. We ain't getting so much rain. So the first ones is why I didn't want to judge on the taste. But after last night and after I eat these tonight, I know for sure. And I'm going to go on and pick this one here, and it'll finish ripening on the counter. Y'all can see just the difference in the further you go up. They're going to be about that size average, I think. There's some a little bigger up in here like that and right there. But they're going to make better shape than the ones on the beginning. So if you like growing Cherokee tomatoes and you like the taste of Cherokee but they're hard to grow, you may want to try the Cherokee Carbons here. Because you can see between these 2 plants, these are the 2 Cherokee Carbons. I mean, they're loaded down with tomatoes and steady making up top. And guys, I am kind of amazed that my tomatoes plants are as beautiful as they are with the rain that we've had this year. Since the second week of March, right here at my house, it's rained. It may have been 1 week in there we didn't get rain 3 days out of 7, and it's still going on, but we ain't getting as much rain, and plus it's done getting hotter so it dries up quicker. But I am really shocked that I ain't had no more disease issues than I've had. This year so far has been a good year. I ain't had no hornworms or such, which I did kind of stay up on my spraying between the rains as much as I could. A lot of times I'd spray it and before dark it'd be raining and wash it back off. And I'd wait a couple days and hit it again just to stay on top of it. But that's your Cherokee Carbon from Hossinator. Like I said, if you like the old heirloom Cherokee tomatoes, but they was hard to grow for you in the South, you need to give these a try. Now the next two plants here is Celebrity Plus. Last year was my first year to grow them. I'm gonna go and pull these, cause I like pulling them a little earlier and let them finish ripening. That way the birds or nothing won't peck on them before I can get them. But guys, I mean the tomatoes is loaded this year. Nice tomatoes. And like I said, that's right there is actually the first tomatoes of this year. That there's got a little spot on it that had to be cut out, and that does too. I ain't seen no hornworms, but that right there looks like where a hornworm started eating on there. And that may have been eating on it when it was young, back when I started spraying, because I ain't seen no evidence of it, but that's what that is. But anyway, that's the first two tomatoes off of these Celebrity Plus this year. There ain't one ready on this second one. But all of my tomatoes has got beautiful plants this year. The plants is just plumb beautiful. You're starting to see some blight down here on the bottom. I've been trying to keep my bottom limbs cleaned off, and as soon as I pick the tomatoes as they ripen on the bottom, I clean all the limbs off from the tomatoes down, because the hotter it gets, the more airflow you're going to want to keep. So just say, for example, once I get up here and these tomatoes is ripe, from here down, it won't be nothing but a naked vine. The two eggplants is looking good. We actually got our first eggplant a couple of days ago. And y'all can see it's steady blooming, and it's got a couple more small ones down in there. There's one right there. About one more day it'll be big enough, 2 days. There's one on the other side. Now these last 4 tomato plants on this row has become my favorite as far as growing and makes pretty tomatoes and good tasting tomatoes. This will be my 3rd year to grow them, and every year they produce well and do good, and I always keep one. After it gets high, I always keep one plant going throughout the year. Now, if you want a tomato that'll grow pretty tomatoes, that's what most people, when they go buy the tomatoes, they want a pretty tomato. But I'm gonna tell you, the more ugly tomatoes like them Cherokees, if you ain't worrying about the prettiness, they got the taste. But if you want a good tomato to grow in your garden that produces a good pretty tomato, that's still a good tasting tomato, try out the Hossinator from Hossinator. It's a SAKATA tomato seed. I used to know the number off the top of my head, 2255 or something like that. I'll put it in the screen here. But this will be the first tomato I picked this year, and today is June the 12th. And I'm right here in northeast Louisiana, so I'm not the earliest to get started. But them are great growing tomatoes. They easy to grow. They ain't bad about getting your diseases and such. And like I said, this will be my 3rd year. I'm finna get y'all over here close. And this is the smallest plant down here, but I'm gonna show y'all some of the tomatoes on the bottom. I mean, just look how clusters of the big tomatoes. And of course, still putting on blooms and still putting on tomatoes. And we'll continue to do that. They call this a determinate tomato, but it's not determinate. It's more of a semi-determinate, because it'll keep growing all year long. I mean, it's got a lot of tomatoes. Now, I ain't saying there ain't tomato plants out there that produces more pounds per plant, but these produces very well to me, and always good pretty tomatoes. And I do like to, when I give away tomatoes, I give away some of the prettier shaped ones. And save these old ugly cracked up tomatoes for me and my wife, because we don't care if we got to cut a chunk out of them or whatever and slice them. They all good eating tomatoes if they ain't just a real pretty tomato. But over here, I got off to the side here, is the Cantaloupe breakfast tomato. Now it's got some up in there, it's gonna be about that big around. This is a yellow tomato. I like growing it. I like eating it. Good tomato if you like a yellow tomato. I gotta get off of that leaf. What's this? Guys, I didn't pull the tag off my new boots. I got some new boots in the mail yesterday I'm trying out. Man, they are comfortable. You're in the market for some good boots and shoes, and I'm talking about they got all kinds. Good soft cushiony insoles and cushions on the bottom. I got the boots here that's semi-waterproof from about yay far down for the morning grass. I just love these, any kind of little short ankle boots. But it's from Ville, Fitville. I'll leave a link in the description below this video, and also I think I got a discount code that I can put on there. You can go to their website and check out the shoes. Again, they got for men, women, kids, diabetic shoes. They got good ankle supports built in them. And like I said, go check out the boots, shoes at Fitville, and they got some good prices. I'm gonna like these. These here is kind of insulated. Now I got them that way because I needed a pair to wear this winter and stuff that's insulated, so I went with these. Again, Fitville. I didn't know that tag was on there, but that's all right. Now back to the tomatoes. This here was the Cantaloupe breakfast. Now this here is my 2nd round on my squash. The 1st round, the vine borers come in early this year and took them out, so I got the 2nd round going. Even got the 3rd round coming up behind you there about that tall. And then I got zucchinis I had to start on my 2nd round again. The watermelons here, this is Sugar Baby and what I call the Smith County watermelon. They ain't making a lot of watermelons. Let's see, I got one. That's the Smith County. There's another Smith County. 1, 2. 2 Sugar Babies. There's a Smith County. 3 Smith Counties. So it ain't producing a lot. There's another baby one over there coming. I think that's a Sugar Baby. They ain't producing a lot, but that's all right. We got another little bed over here. I didn't want as many watermelons this year because they start getting ripe all at the same time and you couldn't eat them fast enough. Now these 2 tomato plants over here is the red snapper. Again, loaded down. Actually, this year's got bigger size tomatoes than the first 2 years I tried the red snapper. But the red snapper and the Hossinator and the roaster I was started trying at the same time, and the Hossinator SAKATA STM 2255 is my overall favorite out of them three. But still, the red snapper and the roaster does great too for home gardens. Right here, I got some new cucumber seeds. I see a couple of them popping. I hope some more of them. I got 2 or 3, 4, 5. There's enough. There's 5, and I see 6, 7 popping. That's good. That's the summer dance cucumbers, because these right here will be petering out soon. We've been getting more than we can eat and giving away just off of this, and me and my wife pretty much eat one every night. And just that little vine right there, little trellis I mean, is produced all we want, or more than we can eat. Here's the other watermelon plant, and on this side is supposed to be Orangelow. This one here is supposed to be an orange meated watermelon. Y'all can see my rabbit right there, Jason Aldean. I turned him loose because I got down to where I only had one rabbit, so I just turned him loose. He hangs around in the garden and goes wherever he wants to go, but he started eating on that for a little while, but he didn't break through it. I think it's going to be all right. But growing the watermelons in the bed is actually doing good. So there's some sugar babies in there, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And I don't know if that's an Orangelow vine that come all the way over here and got one. I may have a Smith County vine plant up in there too. I think I do. No, I got a Smith. Now that one over there, guys, is a Smith County. I got a Smith County one labeled right here. There's Smith County baby one developing there. There's one right there, another sugar baby I missed. There's another Smith County in there. There's actually more watermelons started in there than I realized, because I ain't been just digging around looking that hard. Yeah, I actually found 3 or 4 more little watermelons that I ain't realized that was in there. But this is my first year to grow watermelons in a bed like this. This is a 5-foot round bed, and hey, if I get 10 watermelons out of that, that's gonna be just right. I was just planting them in here, expecting to get maybe 1 off each vine, so that's 4 or 5 watermelons. So hey, it's doing better than my expectations. There's my second round of the zucchinis. You can see we just got about 1.5 inches last night, and they kind of beat down this morning. Now I'm doing a test for myself. Me and my wife, we tried kohlrabi this year for the first time. And man, you want to talk about the awesome slaw, kohlrabi and apple slaw, or you can grate it up with your cabbage. But we loved them so much, I planted some more just to see if I could get a second growth before it gets too hot, or how does these handle the heat. I don't know. This is just a test that I'm doing for myself. They may not be worth trying to get in the second round, but it may get too hot for them. And this here is the cantaloupes. What was it? Heart of Gold and Honey Rock. So they just kind of mix together in there, and I can pull the leaves back, and I can tell you there's at least 8 or 10 of these up in there, which is about all I want to grow off of this. 8 or 10 of them splitting. Back when I done them out there on my open plot, it was just too many watermelons. They get ripe at one time. You had to do more watering out there, and it was more than we could eat, so I just simplified it this year these beds up close, plant them over here, and that way they'll be easier to water and take care of when we start getting into this heat that's already done getting hot. And that's why I put them up here, and they doing great in these beds. You got one over here, a couple hanging from the wire. Now as they get bigger, there's one, actually there's 3, 4 hanging. No, let's see, there's 1, 2, yeah, 3, 4. 4 right there that's just hanging. So I may have to do something different with that once they start getting bigger. And the vines don't hold their weight, I don't know. And then I'll make them out here and see if they'll hold the weight as a test, and maybe they don't fell off one day. This little bed right here, I'm starting some late. Just some old tomato seeds I had. You can see they just come up. I just started the seed straight right here in the bed. This here's a little blue cream cherry tomato. I have them labeled here so I won't forget them. This one here is the tropical sunset. You can see I threw more than one seed because there's 4 little plants coming up, but I'll wait till they get bigger and then I'll pick the strongest one out and leave there. And then these 2 on this side is the Florida 91s. I'm doing that so I have a late tomato plant, because the Florida 91s is bred, and I think I got them from Hoss Tools. But the reason I tried that, and it done great last year, the Florida 91s is meant to grow down in Florida where it's extremely hot and humidity. So I wanted to try them, and I'm trying them for the 2nd time this year. But I'm gonna go show y'all one more tomato. Right out here I had one Florida 91 plant that I started early, and I just planted it in this barrel. And you can see it's fell over. But look at the cluster on there. It's actually got, no, I'm gonna leave that on there till tomorrow. But the Florida 91 makes a good, pretty round tomato. And a decent tasting tomato. And I'm saying decent because I like acidity tomatoes, acidic tomatoes if I'm eating tomato sandwiches and bacon tomato sandwiches. But them are all good. All them SAKATA seeds has been great tomatoes. Okra out there is first time trying it in these beds. They just now starting to produce an okra. I think I just cut 2 yesterday because if I didn't cut them, they was going to be too long today. But they'll get fired up. Once they get fired up, that'll be more fresh okra than me and my wife wants to keep up with. Sweet corn there. You can tell the wind got it last night in that heavy rain, but it's making some ears of corn. Don't make a lot of big ears, but I usually get about anywhere from 35 to 50 ears off of that. That'll be the 3rd year growing it in that bed right there. But guys, this year, even though I cut way back from what I'd been gardening, I slowly cut back some last year, but this year I stepped it way on back. I mean, used to I had 25 tomato plants to where now I'm just, I think that's, I can't remember, 12 at the time. Cut way back. Eggplants just two bushes there. Squash doing 3 at a time. Rotating them out. Just keeping it more compact. And like I said, once these squash here starts producing, with them there done started, we just started again. I don't even if the vine borers ain't got them, when these next ones start producing, I'll go on and pull them up, just keeping things cleaned up and keeping it simplified just for what me and my wife needs. And it's working out great doing that, because it ain't near about as much work to keep up with when I come in after been mowing all day. It's hot, and I just ain't got the time to be in the garden like I used to or like I want to. So, anyway, if you ain't ever tried any of the SAKATA seed tomatoes, put them on your bucket list to try on the next year. I know it's probably too late this year, but put them on your bucket list to try some of them tomatoes out next year. I got them from Hoss Tools, but I think you can get from different suppliers. I ain't trying to sell these for Hoss Tools. I ain't affiliated with them for no way, but they do have great products at Hoss, I say that. But anyway, guys, that's it for this morning. Go check out the Fit Ville boots and shoes. I'll leave y'all a link in the description below the video. Like I said, I put these on this morning and they are very, very comfortable. But I tell you, they're too warm to be wearing right now. I got these for the winter coming up. But I love y'all. Hope y'all have a great day and a blessed week. God bless. See y'all next time. Give my chickens their morning treat this morning.